The day dawns softly in the countryside, a tranquil promise of new beginnings. Tieu Nu greets the morning with warmth, sending wishes for peace and happiness to all who follow her. Surrounded by simple yet cherished companions, the gentle quacking of ducks near her home, her world is painted with earthy colors and the quiet rhythms of nature. In this rural setting, every moment holds significance, and the delicate beauty of everyday life blossoms amidst hardship. Today is more special than most, a celebration for her son's first birthday. Though their lives are modest and often challenging, Tieu Nu embraces this milestone with a heart full of love and determination. Preparing to honor the occasion, she steps into the field where she harvests tomatoes, one of the few sources of income that supports their small family. The soil clings to her hands as she carefully gathers the ripened fruit, an act that blends sustenance and sacrifice. The harvest is both vital and symbolic, reflecting her tireless efforts to provide a future for her child through labor rooted in the land. The market awaits as she swiftly sells most of the freshly picked tomatoes. Each sale, whether small or large, brings a sense of relief and accomplishment. The vibrant market pulse contrasts with the quiet solitude of her daily toil, giving glimpses of wider community connections. Money earned is precious, measured against essential needs and dreams alike. Even the smallest amount carries the weight of survival and hope, fueling the modest celebrations she can afford. With earnings in hand, she moves on to purchase a birthday cake. The decision is careful and prudent. The cake chosen is modest, its sweetness a gift of love rather than extravagance. She faces financial limits head-on, acknowledging the constraints without surrendering the joy of the moment. Packing the cake with help from kind vendors, her gratitude shines through, underscoring the mutual kindness that threads through her life in the community. Her son's birthday also brings tender moments of planning beyond cake, a trip to get a haircut, small gestures made with love and modest means. Each detail of celebration is imbued with the deep desire to make the day meaningful. Tieu Nu carries the quiet apology of a mother who wishes she could offer more, who feels the pinch of poverty yet remains steadfast in giving her child a life full of care and warmth. Throughout this day and every day, the interplay between hardship and love is palpable. Tieu Nu works with a resilience born of necessity and fierce devotion. Her youth lends a freshness to her dreams, while the weight of responsibility deepens her resolve. In her eyes, each struggle is a stepping stone toward a better life for her son. The landscape around her is both a source of livelihood and a backdrop to the intimate story unfolding, a story of sacrifice, joy, and unwavering hope. Her story is not merely about survival, but about the dignity found in every effort, the beauty in small victories, and the enduring power of motherhood. She embodies a generation of young women who, despite their challenges, nurture dreams as tangible as the tomatoes they harvest. Through Tieu Nu's journey, one glimpses the heartbeat of rural Vietnam, a tapestry woven with threads of love, labor, and endless aspiration. Tieu Nu's mornings begin in solemn quietude, marked by the soft light spilling into her modest home. The simplicity of her surroundings, worn wooden floors, a small kitchen with time-worn utensils, and handmade furnishings, reflects a life of limited means but abundant care. Her every action is infused with intention, from preparing basic food to gently rousing her son for the day. The act of organizing her small household is not just domestic routine. It is a labor of love and survival, stitching together fragments of peace amid uncertainty. The pace of the day quickens as she steps into the fields, a space both familiar and demanding. The earth is her ally and her burden. She harvests tomatoes with practiced hands, moving methodically among the plants, careful to gather the ripest fruit. This physical work is a rhythm that anchors her, a communion with nature that is at once grounding and exhausting. Each tomato represents sustenance and hope, a tangible reward for endless toil under the sun's relentless gaze. The dirt beneath her fingernails, the smell of fresh earth, and the faint hum of rural life compose a sensory backdrop to her determination. Her journey to the market follows, where the bustle contrasts with the solitude of her working hands. Amid the clamor of vendors and villagers, Tieu Nu navigates with quiet resolve. Selling her harvest is an intricate dance, balancing pricing, negotiating sales, and building relationships within her community. Every dong earned stretches to cover basic needs and fleeting joys alike. The social fabric of the marketplace, woven with exchanges of kindness, smiles, and shared struggles, softens the economic hardship surrounding her. Here, she is both provider and participant, sustaining her family and belonging to a larger human story. The day's labor culminates in a poignant moment, a celebration to mark her son's first year of life. The birthday cake she buys is modest, a simple sweetness amid austerity, but rich in symbolic meaning. It is an emblem of love translating hardship into joy. Assistance from compassionate vendors in packing the cake speaks to the communal kindness threading through daily struggles. The preparations for the birthday, the small but significant acts of planning a haircut and organizing the celebration, reflect a mother's fierce desire to carve out happiness for her child against the constraints of poverty. Within these moments lies an emotional depth marked by vulnerability and fierce resolve. Tieu Nu's apologies to her son for any lack reveal a complex interiority, pain mingled with hope, self-doubt countered by determination. This nuanced portrait illuminates the psychological fabric of single motherhood, the ceaseless balancing of pride and humility, love and sacrifice, dreams and reality. Tony's presence infuses the narrative with life's tenderness and vitality. His innocence and growth symbolize survival and continuity in a world fraught with uncertainty. His first birthday is more than a date. It is a celebration of persistence, a testament to love's sustaining power. Their bond, fragile yet unbreakable, anchors Tieu Nu's efforts. Through his eyes, her daily struggles gain new meaning, each hardship borne for his sake, each joy heightened by his laughter. The rural context shapes and shades every facet of life. The rhythms of nature, seasonal changes, agricultural cycles, and cultural rituals imbue days with a steady cadence, yet unpredictable challenges. Traditions intertwine with contemporary realities, forming a backdrop of continuity and adaptation. The natural world, fields, animals, weather, echoes the fluctuating fortunes and indomitable spirit of this young mother. Social networks and community connections play vital roles in mitigating isolation and hardship. Extended family, neighbors, and informal networks offer practical help and emotional sustenance. These relationships are complex, rich with support, yet occasionally tinged with social judgment. Tieu Nu's navigation of these bonds displays her strength and strategic engagement in preserving dignity and belonging. Her story illustrates evolving notions of family where love and choice hold as much weight as blood ties. Invisible labor colors all aspects of her life. The mental effort to plan and prioritize, the emotional labor of hope and perseverance, the physical exhaustion from constant activity. These unseen burdens are fundamental, yet frequently overlooked, underscoring the resilience and grace with which she carries them. Economic precarity sharpens every decision. Income fluctuates seasonally. Expenses loom large. Daily survival demands resourcefulness, while aspirations quietly persist. Balancing immediate needs against long-term goals creates an ever-present tension shaping her worldview and choices. Moments of joy and beauty appear spontaneously. Tony's laughter, a blossoming garden, shared meals with neighbors soften hardships. These precious interludes reveal life's layered complexity and affirm the possibility of flourishing amid adversity. Cultural expectations add texture and tension. As a young, single mother, Tieu Nu challenges traditional Vietnamese norms, emphasizing two-parent families and hereditary lineage. Her experience reflects shifting attitudes towards family diversity and female autonomy. Tradition and modernity intersect, generating both challenges and transformative opportunities. Her personal growth arcs from vulnerability to agency. Managing household, caregiving, and economic life alone underscores profound strength and humility. Her journey embodies emerging narratives of empowered young mothers redefining roles and identities. Environmental imagery enriches the tale. The nurturing soil, seasonal cycles, the presence of humble animals like ducks symbolize persistence and interconnection. Nature parallels human fragility and tenacity, deepening thematic resonance. Culturally significant moments, Tet, birthdays, adapt to limited circumstances. Through modest rituals, she sustains inherited customs while creating new forms of celebration. These acts symbolize cultural resilience and personal renewal. The story weaves labor, love, and hope into an intricate fabric. Exhaustion and pressure coexist with optimism and triumphs. Its nuanced portrayal shuns simplistic tropes, honoring the dignity of lived experience. Vivid sensory details ground the narrative in tangible reality. The texture of tomatoes, the scent of earth, the warmth of a smile. Emotional depth invites empathy and connection, rendering visible the lives of often invisible women. Tieu Nu's story exemplifies the broader realities confronting many young single mothers in rural Vietnam. It reveals the complex interplay of culture, economy, identity, and love that shapes their experiences. Her journey affirms motherhood as a dynamic, intentional, and deeply human endeavor. This extended narrative invites recognition, understanding, and respect for the courage and creativity underpinning single motherhood. It highlights the necessity of community support and social change to uplift those navigating life's challenges with strength and grace. Through Tieu Nu's day, marked by harvest, market, and celebration, readers glimpse not only hardship, but the rich humanity that defines survival and hope. Her story stands as a tribute to the enduring power of love to transform lives. The dawn rises quietly, embracing the small home where Tieu Nu and her son live. The textures of the morning, the cool air, the subtle light filtering through thin curtains, the faint sounds of nature awakening compose a serene yet fragile beginning to the day. In this place, where simplicity reigns, every moment holds weight. Tieu Nu's movements are deliberate and tender, orchestrating the rhythms of care and survival without pause. The morning's tasks, gathering water, preparing food, dressing her son, arranging the sparse belongings, form a ritual of love inscribed with the realities of scarcity. The day unfolds with the steady cadence of agricultural life. Her hands, calloused but deft, tend to the small parcel of land that sustains them. Tomato plants stretch beneath the sun, offering their bounty through the work of patient stewardship. The harvest is laborious, demanding an unceasing negotiation between human effort and the unpredictability of nature. Each ripe tomato plucked is a small triumph, a seed of sustenance and possibility amid precariousness. The earth's aroma, the feel of soil, the warmth of the sun upon her skin entwine with the silent determination that drives her daily toil. Traveling to the bustling market is a venture that blends necessity with resilience. The market teems with life, a vibrant tapestry of voices, colors, and exchanges. Here, Tieu Nu enters as both provider and participant. Every transaction is more than economic. It is a thread in the web of social connection. She balances negotiating fair prices with cultivating relationships amid shared understandings of struggle and mutual support. The money earned is carefully pocketed, a fragile resource stretched across needs for food, clothing, medicines, and the rare indulgence of a celebratory cake. The marketplace embodies solidarity, a place where kindness softens hardship and where survival is a collective endeavor. Preparing to celebrate her son's first birthday brings a luminous contrast to the routine of labor. Though resources are limited, the event is imbued with profound significance. Selecting the birthday cake becomes a meditation on love's endurance, choosing sweetness over austerity, joy over deprivation. The simple act of purchasing the cake, aided by supportive hands at the market, illustrates the interdependence that sustains her. This celebration is a beacon of hope, marking survival, love, and continuity despite the challenges faced. Tender preparation follows, arranging the cake, planning his haircut, finding small ways to honor her child's milestone. Each gesture is an act of devotion and defiance against adversity. The quiet apology for the limitations imposed by circumstance reveals emotional depths where love and sorrow intertwine. Her resolve radiates through these intimate moments, reflecting the complex emotional landscape of young single motherhood, a tapestry woven with resilience, vulnerability, aspiration, and sacrifice. Tony's presence is a vital force animating her existence. His laughter, innocence, and growth are counterpoints to hardship and exhaustion. His first birthday represents a victory over uncertainty, a celebration of life's persistence. Their bond is lifeblood, anchoring Tieu Nu through fatigue and economic precarity. In her eyes, every burden borne folds into an unwavering commitment to nurture and protect him, crafting a future born of hope and relentless effort. The rural setting frames the story with layers of cultural resonance and natural symbolism. The land cycles, planting, growth, harvest, mirror human seasons of challenge and renewal. Surrounding sounds, the quacking ducks, rustling leaves, distant village chatter, compose a living backdrop where tradition and modernity converge. The customs of Tet, birthdays, and communal gatherings punctuate daily life with moments of connection and cultural continuity, adapted creatively to fit her unique circumstances. Community bonds are a lifeline beneath the visible fabric of her life. Family ties, friendships, and informal support networks provide vital assistance and emotional sustenance. These relationships are dynamic, marked by both strength and tension as societal expectations and subtle judgments intersect with genuine care. Tieu Nu's navigation of community life reflects an acute awareness of these complexities and a strategic confidence in forging belonging and mutual aid. Her experience exemplifies how familial and social definitions expand beyond convention, embracing chosen kinship and shared resilience. The invisible labor underpinning her days reveals layers of cognitive, emotional, and physical work that sustain her family's life. Mental efforts to plan, prioritize, and navigate limited resources blend with emotional labor to sustain optimism and endurance. Physical fatigue accumulates from continuous activity, yet each task is imbued with purpose and care. This hidden work is fundamental and often unacknowledged, underscoring the profound dignity and strength woven through her daily existence. Economic uncertainty remains a relentless backdrop. Income from agriculture fluctuates with seasons and markets. Expenses for food, healthcare, education, and shelter weigh heavily. Decision-making is a delicate balance between immediate needs and longer-term aspirations. The story captures this precariousness with nuance, illustrating how resourcefulness and anxiety coexist in daily life. Every dong earned carries layers of significance, survival, provision, and the tentative building of dreams. Joy and beauty emerge naturally amid adversity. The sound of Tony's laughter, the bloom of garden vegetables, shared meals with neighbors offer respite and affirmation. These moments illuminate the fullness of life beyond struggle, enriching the narrative's emotional texture. They invite empathy and a recognition of human complexity, illustrating that resilience encompasses both strength and tenderness. Societal expectations imbue the narrative with tension and transformation. As a young single mother, Tieu Nu challenges entrenched norms, privileging two-parent families. Her story reflects broader societal shifts in Vietnam toward gender equality, diverse family forms, and female empowerment. This intersection of tradition and change shapes her psychological and social world, fostering both challenges and opportunities. Her personal evolution arcs from vulnerability toward empowerment. Her adept caregiving, community engagement, and economic navigation depict a young woman forging identity and agency with humility and courage. Tieu Nu embodies the aspirations of many young mothers, carving new narratives around motherhood, family, and independence. Environmental imagery enriches the tale, deepening thematic resonance. The cycles of planting and harvest echo renewal and perseverance. The presence of animals like ducks adds vitality and continuity. Nature emerges as both metaphor and milieu, mirroring human fragility and tenacity. Cultural rituals ground the narrative in heritage while embracing adaptation. Celebrations, Tet, birthdays, transform constraints into affirmations of love and belonging. These acts of cultural continuity and reinvention highlight resilience and the creative power of tradition. The story intertwines labor, love, hope, and hardship in an intricate fabric. Physical exhaustion and emotional strain meet optimism and small triumphs. The narrative resists simplification, honoring complexity, dignity, and the fullness of experience. Vivid sensory detail anchors readers in tangible reality, the scent of earth, the texture of tomatoes, the warmth of a smile. Emotional depth invites understanding and connection, rendering visible the often unseen lives of young rural mothers. Tieu Nu's journey epitomizes broader experiences confronting rural Vietnamese single mothers today. It reveals culture, economy, identity, and love as intersecting forces shaping lives. Her story affirms motherhood as a dynamic, intentional, and deeply meaningful human endeavor. This extended portrayal calls for recognition, respect, and support for the courage and creativity fueling single motherhood. It highlights the essential roles of community, social policy, and cultural transformation in uplifting women navigating complex challenges with strength and grace. Through her day marked by harvest, market, and celebration, Tieu Nu's story offers a profound testament to the enduring power of love and resilience to forge hope and meaning, illuminating the human spirit's capacity to thrive amid uncertainty and constraint.